So, Moroccans are focused on immigrating, a lot of them. It was not exactly the case when he was doing his field work. He was just talking about in the door. Um, the north of Morocco, next to Spain, there, um, that labor migration and drugs and smuggling would be so um, generalized just within the door. That's what he expected, but now it's really all over Morocco. There's a general feeling that we have to leave. So here we have Fin Ghadi Bi Akhoya, Where Are You Taking Me, Brother? That I'm going to play for you. It's um, a music video here. Hold on. This group here, Hoba Hoba Spirit. And here are the lyrics.
On n'y comprend plus rien, on ne sait plus d'où on vient, on est perdu en chemin et on n'en voit pas la fin. Un petit peu tradition, un petit peu science-fiction, résultat confusion, c'est la fusion qui rend complètement paumé. On perd tous nos repères et plus rien n'est très clair. On est des cyberbères perdus sur la terre. Faut peut-être ralentir pour rectifier le tir, ralentir pour arrêter ce délire.
That's Arabic.
فين عايشين بين وبين ما عارفينش فين غادي شكون تابعين غير تابعين كي البهايم جابونا على الانترنت حنا فهمنا انترنت اجي تشاطي معايا من بعد لقاو في القهوه ولكن مع السبعه خاصها تكون جالسه مع الوالد والوالده كيتفرجوا في التلفازه صغيره مصريه عندكم ما يقلبوها ويطيحوا بشي فضيحه. Mais tout le monde ici sait que ce que tu fais après 7 heures, tu peux le faire à toute heure. Mais ça c'est pas important, ce qui compte c'est ce que disent les gens, c'est le hajadianes, alors du e-business. Tu fais tout ce que tu veux tant qu'on y voit du feu.
Back to Arabic. This is the chorus, sort of extending from the original. It's a what do you call it? A cover from the '70s. So this is where they're doing more sort of the traditional cover, but now they're going to get back into their rap.
شوية دارجة tu sors de casa ما كاين غير الشلحة et tu veux faire un CV alors tu fais en français mais qui غنديرو باش نفهمو. Mais nous tout ce qu'on sait faire c'est surveiller son frère. نعم كنتي عاش من ساعة دخلتي ياك ما كميتي ولا شربتي ليا في صحتي طلعتي ليا في راسي خليني نعيش حياتي وحسابي مع ربي. Ça fait comme ça. خليني نعيش حياتي وحسابي مع ربي 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 في غادي بيا خويا.
Back to the chorus.
Exodus, movement of Haraga. Exodus, movement of Haraga.
Okay, so you can watch lots of their videos. They've got a lot of good stuff. That haraga word there, haraka means to burn. So the haraga are the people who burn their documents. The movements of haraga. Basically, if you turn up in Spain and you have no documentation of where you're from, then the Spanish can't deport you. Um, Moroccans are going to say, hey, we don't know who they are. Maybe they're Algerians. Algerians are going to say, hey, we don't know who they are. Maybe they're Moroccans. So you just claim that you're stateless, and boom, you may be stuck in prison for the rest of your life, but you're not going to be sent back. So a lot of people burn their documents when they leave. So that's just an example that shows how common it is to look at these guys who, they went through 8th grade or 9th grade in the Arabic, and now they're supposed to submit a resume to get a job, but they don't speak any French. And how do they even know how to type? And you get access to a computer and print something out, and the spellings are all wrong. And so there's no way you're ever going to get a job. And so the only thing to do is become a migrant laborer in Spain. Lots and lots of friends have done this. Um, the second thing that we can talk about as we're going through here is Nador. Nador as neglected and bypassed, as well as the site of most of the smuggling. You can see, of course, it's up close near to the Spain here and here. So there's lots of smuggling going on there. It's also part of the reef. So when you look at Morocco more broadly, this northern part up here was the site of the strongest. You see, it's mountainous. It's the strongest military resistance to Spanish rule anywhere in the world. People in Algerian Morocco are famous. Some of these original freedom fighters fighting against colonial expansion. They would hold off entire armies for years, even decades sometimes. Some of these rebels up here in the mountains in Libya as well. Just absolutely legendary resistance fighters. I think the French had the easy part. They were down here. They came through, and it basically was a peaceful handover, and everyone started working for the French. But the Spanish got this place up here, and there was actually armed resistance for, I think, about 20 years from 1912 to the 30s. Absolutely brutal stuff. Of course, the Spanish Civil War was going on during that time, and Franco was an ally of Hitler in the 30s. Franco was the general who was trying to take over Spain from the Republicans, little R Republicans, meaning sort of socialists, running the place. And so in the midst of that, Franco was launching these aerial attacks on the rebels, and the rebels were just absolutely, fighting back using guerrilla warfare. Very inspiring to revolutionaries and to rebels and asymmetrical fighters around the world. The problem with that is that after the 1950s, after the independence of Morocco, then you have a problem because these people are not just necessarily, having fought for so long and only finally accepted Spanish rule on pain of death. They're not going to turn around and say, "Okay, we're cool with being ruled from Rabat now." We they're going to get right back at it. So during the early years of the restored kingdom in the 50s and 60s, some of the strongest Republican, again, little r, sort of, we want to abolish the kingdom. We want to create a republic. We want to have a federal system where we have our autonomy, like they did in Iraq. This is sort of the Kurds of Morocco. These people do not really see themselves, in many cases, as Arab. They don't see themselves or at least in the 50s and 60s, did not. They're Berbers. They don't really speak Arabic very much in here. Um, and they really did not want to be ruled by Rabat, and so they rebelled and rebelled and rebelled. And I'll tell more stories later on if if we have time for it. But for now on, let's say that there is a great deal of uh, neglect and bypass. We'll do another video here and talk about it more.